In the middle of the Pacific Ocean sits a peaceful Japanese island, once famous for its stunning scenery and the perfect way people and nature live together. For many years, families thrived, here growing healthy crops, gathering food from the land, and living in harmony. But one day, everything changed. Rats, a massive invasion, sudden and devastating. Crops were destroyed. Food supplies vanished. The quiet rhythm of life collapsed. Traps didn't work. Poison failed. Every morning, more rats emerged. "We've tried everything," said one frustrated farmer, watching rats tear through his rice fields. "The traps are empty. The poison isn't working and they just keep coming." Decades of work wiped out in days, the island was in crisis, with nowhere left to turn. The villagers gathered to find a solution. "What if we bring in cats?" suggested an elderly fisherman at a tense community meeting. "My grandfather always said cats were good luck and great hunters." "Cats, that's your solution?" scoffed a younger farmer. "We need real pest control, not pets." But desperation won. "We've tried everything else," the fisherman said. "What do we have to lose?" And so, the cat heroes arrived. Over 1,000 cats from across the country were brought to the island. Graceful, silent, sharp, dash-eyed. They explored their new home with cautious purpose through fields, homes, and barns. Within weeks, the rat population began to fall. The ecosystem began to recover at first. The islanders were skeptical. But soon, even the doubters were amazed. "I didn't think it would actually work," admitted one villager, watching cats patrol his garden. "But look at them go, they're like little soldiers." The cats were more than pest control. They were protectors. They were hope, the crops. Returned, the storage rooms stayed sealed, and for the first time in months, I slept through the night without hearing rats in the walls, said a relieved resident. "It's like a miracle." The cats were love-named, fed, and welcomed into homes. A desperate solution had become a miracle. "They're not just cats anymore," said one woman, petting a tabby curled on her porch. "They're our guardians, our hope." But paradise had a price. Years passed. Tourists began arriving, drawn by viral videos of Cat Island. Photographers, bloggers, scientists, they all came to see the living miracle. Environmental experts were stunned. The cats had restored balance in ways no human method ever had. Universities studied the island. Papers were written, documentaries filmed, yet while the outside world praised the cats, something darker was taking root. Then came the shock. "I've never seen anything like this," said a veterinarian, examining a 3-year-old tabby with clouded eyes. "This cat is going blind, and it's not from old age." Across the island, cats were getting sick. Blindness, breathing problems, weak immune systems. What scientists discovered was chilling. Decades of inbreeding. The original 1,000 cats had created a genetic bottleneck. There was almost no diversity there. DNA was repeating itself, causing illness, suffering, and early death. "We saved them from the rats," whispered one heartbroken resident, "but we couldn't save them from themselves." Even worse, as the human population aged, fewer people remained to care for the cats. "There's only 4 of us left now," said the island's elderly cat mama. "When we're gone, who will feed them?"
Cats.
Other cat islands across Japan faced the same fate. On Aoshima, scientists predicted complete abandonment within 5 years, and then came another discovery in 2011. Disaster struck. A massive earthquake and tsunami battered the region, but before it hit, something strange happened. ... Double quotes. "The cats were going crazy," recalled one survivor. "Running, yowling, hiding in high places. We'd never seen them like." that. The villagers followed the cats to higher ground. When the tsunami came, it missed them. The cats had warned them. They were not just protectors. They were guardians. But nature once again reminded everyone of its complexity. "The cats didn't stop hunting when the rats disappeared," said a researcher. "They moved on to native birds. Bird populations plummeted. The ecosystem tilted again, this time in another direction. The saviors of one crisis had become the threat of the next. In 2018, authorities made a drastic decision. Every cat on the island would be sterilized. "We have no choice," said a city official. With 13 people and 130 cats, we're headed for disaster. Over 3 days, 172 cats were sterilized, a world record. But not everyone agreed. "You're killing our future," cried an elderly resident who secretly hid 10 cats from the operation. "These cats saved us, and now you want to erase them?" The cats were released the next morning. They returned to their routines, unaware that the future of their kind had just ended. "We've just started the countdown," said a visiting researcher. "In 18 years, there will be no more cats on this island." The paradox was devastating. Cat tourism had exploded, yet the island saw none of the profits. No shops, no hotels, not even vending machines. "We've become famous for our cats," said one frustrated shopkeeper. But fame doesn't pay the bills. Visitors came, took photos, fed the cats, and left. They brought money, but not to the island. "They come for peace," said one elderly man. But they destroyed the very peace they came to find. The sterilization program, meant to be responsible, had done something else. It gave the island an expiration date. By 2036, there'll be no cats left. The cat island will become a quiet resting place. A memory. But the story isn't just sad. It's powerful. It's real. It teaches us that nature's balance is delicate, that good intentions have consequences, that not every miracle lasts forever. "The cats gave us hope," said one old fisherman. "But now, maybe it's time to let go." Today, tourists still come. They smile. They take photos, but they also listen. They hear the truth behind the story. That every solution brings new problems, that nature creates and destroys. That stories, even the most beautiful ones, must eventually end. We don't control the story once we start it, said the last remaining guide. Nature writes the ending, and sometimes it's not the one we hoped for. By 2036, the countdown will be complete. The cats who once saved an island will rest forever beneath its skies. Final reminder that even miracles fade. If this story moved you, consider subscribing, because at Hope and Fur, we share the true stories of animals, humans, and the love that holds them together. Subscribe to Pawthos, where rescue meets the wild, and love always finds a way.